Thank you, everyone. I'm Kathy Carneth. I'm founder and visionary of Sangha Healing, and it is your trusted network for holistic solutions. We are a dynamic hub connecting wellness seekers with carefully vetted professional healing practitioners while offering a diverse range of comprehensive health options. Our Sangha is way more than a network. It's a global community united in exploring complementary and alternative medicine while embracing the innate power of self-healing. Together, we empower personal health journeys, connect you with trusted practitioners, and share the latest in holistic healing practices. We also partner with holistic practitioners to provide business growth strategies, personalized coaching, and networking opportunities, helping them build credibility and amplify their impact in the health industry. So welcome everyone, and thank you for joining us for this important conversation. We're so glad to have you as part of our healing community today, and it's my honor to introduce your host, Dr. Dana Lillistahl, who will lead us through an enlightening session on the health benefits of cannabis and CBD. With over 30 years of experience in both traditional and holistic healthcare, Dr. Dana specializes in helping individuals over 40 overcome challenges like stress, fatigue, and anxiety through natural plant-based solutions. Her passion for addressing root causes and empowering her clients to achieve lasting wellness is truly inspiring. Dr. Dana's mission is to guide others toward a healthier, more fulfilling life, free from the temporary fixes of conventional medicine. Please welcome Dr. Dana Lillistahl. Take it away.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So I've been in this space for the past 8 years after regular medicine, and I couldn't be happier. I'm a holistic doctor. I'm a nurse practitioner with a PhD, but I function like a naturopath. And to start off, because I'm natural, I gravitate to plants and I gravitate to empowering patients. And right now, 40 of 50 states in the United States have legalized cannabis for medical care, and only 24 are allowing it recreationally. And because of the legalization of cannabis across the United States and in places in the world, it's igniting a grassroots kind of community that's communicating about how they're taking this plant into their own personal care and how it's making a difference. And with that, Kathy, we can go to the next slide. So what is cannabis? Cannabis is just a flowering plant of the Cannabiceae family. It's part of the Cannabis sativa. And it has lots of slang names depending on where you go. Remember that it circumnavigated the globe with all the explorers back in the day. It brought men together who were gone for years at a time. And they came with levity, and it brought a little bit of calm and fun to a very arduous, difficult time of life. So we've known that it's both medical in an herbal sense and intoxicating. And because of that, it's gotten a bad name. But we've dug up tombs 2,900 BC where it's in a tomb in China. And in Jamestown, in the early 1600s or 1762, all the explorers who came over from England had hemp. They had to grow it. And between 1745 and 1775, George Washington did 30 years of growing hemp. Thomas Jefferson did too. And so we have this long history of us using cannabis. And then in 1850, all medical doctors in America were using marijuana, known as cannabis at the time, to treat everybody that was coming in their doors. So this has an incredible history across the entire globe with a vast majority of people. Go to the next slide. And so it's really important that we're aware that it's not a cure-all. It's not going to be making you a brand new person. It's an herbal remedy. It helps to support, maybe reduce, maybe augment whatever's going on with your current doctor and what wellness regimen you have in place. It's been here as a plant since ancient times. And it's been used conventionally to treat patients. One of the first mentions is in India by a doctor, William O'Shea, who did all the research and then went home to the UK and gave it to, the Queen Victoria for her menstrual cramps. So it's not a magical cure. It's not a substitute for your personal doctor, but it is an option for you and I to consider in light of maybe symptoms that aren't being addressed or side effects from a medication that we're currently on and need to be on. And we can go to the next slide. So there's 3 components to the flower, and they work in synergy, and we're going to start with the first component, cannabinoids. Long chemical name for the chemicals or substances created from the plant. And the vast majority of research that's been done on cannabis came out of Israel from a doctor with an MD, PhD, who's now passed within the last 2 years. And they and his team of graduate students identified over 144 components of this plant. And so there's chemical properties that work within us. And this is one thing you and I were never told in our 7th grade health class. Were you told that you make cannabinoids in your brain? THC molecules? No. Were you told that you excrete that from your breast when you breastfeed your baby? No, you weren't told that. And the 2 cannabinoids that you and I make in our brain, called 2-AG and anonymide, they work like adrenaline. They give us energy, focus, and they help with pain. And so you and I make them, but guess what? As we age, because of illnesses, allergies, sleep-wake cycle disruption, infection, we don't make as many. And so we don't have that ability. The other thing they never told you and I in our 7th grade health class is that we have an internal stabilizing chemical system that's in every mammal. Any creature on the globe that has a backbone that is a mammal has this incredible system. Whether you're a reptile, a human, a dog, a cat, you got it. And a lot of what we're seeing are endocannabinoid deficiencies because no medical doctor can ever learn about it. No medical doctor is addressing it. And so maybe in your life, fibromyalgia is really an endocannabinoid deficiency, but in my life, it's multiple sclerosis, and in his, it's hypertension. So we're all different. And what this incredible system does, it helps cell-to-cell communication. And to make it even more glorious, you and I have receptors spread throughout our entire body for cannabinoids, divinely put there. CB1 cannabinoid receptors in your brain, and CB2 receptors from your neck down your body, your tissues, your organs, your immune cells. So it's a built-in system that we were never told about that's always working in the background. We can go to the next slide. So the endocannabinoid system is such a big word, we abbreviate it to the ECS. It was identified in 1964 with Dr. Melakoutam in Israel. And the cannabinoids, the molecules in your body that are made up of THC, that resemble THC, are called endogenous cannabinoids, internal substances our bodies make. But as we age, we don't make as many. So sometimes we go to a dispensary and we buy a product, which is a phytocannabinoid, a plant from the outside coming in, called an exogenous cannabinoid. So it doesn't matter if you're making it internally. It doesn't matter if you're bringing it in because you went and bought it. It goes right to those receptors and it does its magic. Go ahead to the next one. So this is the alphabet soup of cannabis, and I don't want you to get all mired in it. We're just going to briefly touch base. We'll kind of go through them, and they're big words, so we'd like to abbreviate them. We're going to talk ad nauseum today about THC, or the 4th one down, tetrahydrocannabinol, which is the most abundant and the one that makes you feel high. The second most abundant is cannabidiol, CBD. So those 2, most of us have all heard about. Oh, can you go back, Kathy? But the rest you might not have heard about. So we're going to talk about the acids. We're going to talk about CBC, CBG. I mean, This is like, whoa, just know that they're here for you. I'm going to do briefly on each. Okay, we'll go to the next slide. THC, why is it so good? It's so good because it's good for nausea, for the chemotherapeutic person. It's good for the people that have no appetite. They're just wasting away. It's good for muscle spasms. It's good for, like, inflammation in the body. It helps to be a bronchodilator and open up the airways. It can help some people sleep. We're all uniquely different, but it has some really bad side effects if you take too much. Highly sedative. It can make you feel very anxious if you take too much. It can cause mental confusion and anxiety, and in some people, panic attacks. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk today about how you can deal with that, because a friend who gives you a cookie that's 25 milligrams of THC is probably not a friend, because that might make you feel out of control and like you're dying. And that's not something that I want anyone to ever experience. So we have to be very careful, because back when we were teenagers, the strength of cannabis was a lot lower. And nowadays we have those ethnobotanists that are geneticists, like on steroids, and they're making weed that's really potent, like 30%, 28 to 30% high. I mean, that's high, okay? So we need a community. There's no stupid question. You can raise your hand anytime, interrupt me, because we're in this together. And we're starting to get the research, and those of us in the industry can barely keep up. So keep asking. We can go to the next one. Cannabidiol is an amazing non-psychoactive or intoxicating substance. It's kind of maybe fall out of favor when you go to smoke shops and they don't have testing. And when they do tests, like Dr. Oz went and did secret tests and found out it really wasn't there, don't go to a smoke shop. My message is go to a legal dispensary that's paid millions of dollars for this license, that is under incredible scrutiny with a third-party lab that has to have every batch analyzed for pesticides, herbicides, mold, fungus, bacteria. How much THC is there? How much solvent residue? How much CBD? If you get a product that should have no THC, there better not be any THC on that. And what you can do is scan it with your phone on the QR code, and you're in the know. You got the whole report right there for that batch. We need peace of mind. We don't need to be scared that we're going to get worse, but we're going to get better. That's what I want you to know. So CBD is proven to help with pain, analgesic. It helps with pain. Antiemetic, it helps reduce nausea. It helps reduce spasms. It helps reduce anxiety. I have anxiety. I take it every day. It's amazing for seizures. Our youngest tyke was 8 months old in the state of Arizona, 40 seizures a day. Now he gets one a month. It's super good for seizures. And you know what? It's been shown to lower blood sugar. It's been shown to lower blood pressure. So if you have either of those ailments, you must tell your doctor. You must monitor both. And what I love about CBD, and ladies, we know this, when we're feeling blue or down or depressed, what do? We eat chocolate. We eat a croissant. We eat a brownie. We eat a muffin. Why? Because it increases serotonin and we get happy. It increases the mood, okay? We make more serotonin in our tummies than we do in our head. Guess what CBD does? Increases serotonin, elevates your mood. Guess what else CBD does? It stops dopamine from being depleted. What's dopamine? Why do you think we have an addiction to phones? Oh, look. Or why do you think we go to the casino and keep pulling and putting our money in? Oh, I could win. That's dopamine. I want more. You don't need to throw your money away. Take CBD. Keep your money. Use CBD as a preventative. It helps with cancers, breast. It helps with sex hormone cancers, breast, prostate, testicular, ovarian. And it has a positive effect on your metabolism. It can actually make you start burning more calories. And it stops the host rejection. If you have a new liver and you just got one, it'll stop your body from rejecting it. And lastly, I have osteoporosis. It stimulates my bones. So game on. I love CBD. We'll go to the next slide. So we have these acid forms. They have an extra A. They're totally innate. They will not make you intoxicated or high. They have to be heated. Once they're heated, they activate. But in their non-activated state, THCA and CBDA is really showing a lot of promise to decrease inflammation, which is what aging is all about, to decrease oxidative stress, which is rusting from the inside out, and it boosts our immune system. So you can get an oil in a THCA or an oil in a CBDA in any dispensary, start putting it under your tongue, and you could just find that you're having some really good results with alleviating discomfort, maybe swelling, and you don't know unless you put your foot in the water and you test it. Okay, we'll go to the next one. So this is the newest, greatest one on the top, cannabicaromine, CBC. Why is that new? Well, it's the latest research. It won't make you high. It decreases inflammation. It's antibacterial, antimicrobial, but guess what it does? It makes you and I make brand new nerve cells.
Diana Nordstrom.
Brand new nerve cells. And it's good for eczema. It's good for psoriasis. It's good for itching. It's good for acne. And it's good for pain. CBG, I can't live a day without it. It's good for my anxiety. It will not make me high. It decreases pain. It decreases inflammation. I'm getting older. It decreases fungus, bacterial infections. But guess what? It's really good for the tummy. Super good for colitis, ulcerative colitis, Crohn's, colon cancer, irritable bowel syndrome. Good for bladder issues. And I don't know about you, but my bladder's getting old, and sometimes when I cough or I run fast, I can leak. I don't want that. So I could use that support. It's good for glaucoma, high eye pressure, and super good for peripheral neuropathy. That pain that goes down your legs into your feet, and you're like, I can't feel my feet very well. Now, the CBDV is an inactive form. It's really good for convulsants. It's starting to be used. And the THCV is really good for weight loss. It's in edibles. And so I had it in a vape pen. I gave it to a 78-year-old woman who's fought her weight all her life. And I said, all I have is a vape pen. And she goes, I'm desperate. I'll take it. She lost 30 pounds in 2 months. But guess what? Big Pharma came in and bought it out of the dispensary. So there is a company called Wild that has an edible called THCV. It increases your metabolic rate. It helps get the sugar into the blood cell, the muscle, and it decreases blood sugar. So bring it on. CBN, I can't sleep without CBN. I have this hyperactive, anxious brain. I'll get up in the middle of the night and start worrying about my talk with you, and I won't be able to sleep. But when I take the CBN with my THC, it'll go, oh, no, girlfriend, you need to sleep. You go back to bed. None of it. We can go to the next slide. So the first healthy component of the flower are cannabinoids, 144. The second one is terpenes. These are essential oils. If you look up close and personal at the flower, it's gorgeous. It's got these trichomes with resin hanging off. You can see them on that picture. And that's essential oils. And they bring greater medicinal value. And they bring their aromatic smell, whether it's musky, whether it's citrusy, whether it's sweet. And we've got terpenes or essential oils in food we use, like the rind of a lemon. Okay, like ladies, we love lavender, to soak in lavender, linalool. That's a terpene. That's an essential oil. So we have the terpenes as well in this plant from the resin glands. And we can go to the next one. And here are some terpenes. Like people that have COPD or bad asthma, they go, I love to smoke, but I can't. I go, yeah, you can. See this pinene? It's a bronchodilator. You can go get a volcano vaporizer. You can put your flower right in it. It will take all the impurities away and you get pure flower. I ran into a lady 2 weeks ago. She has all these masses on her lungs with COPD. She loves to smoke. She goes, guess what? I'm smoking with a volcano. And guess what? All the masses are turning into scar tissue. So I'm going to tell you, you can smoke if you want, but only the pinene, which is high in certain strains like Blue Dream. Myrcene, that's in beer. That's hops. It's anti-inflammatory. It helps with muscle relaxation. It's a sedative, and it helps with pain, an analgesic. Limonene, it's citrus. It helps with anxiety. It's anti-cancer. It stops the rusting in the inside, and it boosts our immune system from the lemon rind. Linalool, anti-anxiety, anti-pain, helps relax us, and it's an anticonvulsant. And chlorofylline, which is black pepper, this is a secret that we all have in our kitchens. I don't like chewing it, but I'm going to tell you, you're going to have to maybe. Anti-inflammatory, stops the pain, really good for the GI, antimicrobial, but guess what? That girlfriend that gave you that 25 milligram cookie and now you feel like you're going to die, open up the spice cabinet, get that black pepper, grind it and start chewing it. You look like you got black all over your teeth. Who cares? It'll take the high down. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm back in my body. You can do that, okay? Or you could go to, the only time you go to a smoke shop is you get a product called Undo, UNDOO. It's olitolic acid. It will clear off your receptors. You take 16 ounces of water, chug it, and you're back. It's about $25, and you can get it at a smoke shop. We can go to the next one. So we've got cannabinoids. We've got terpenes, which are essential oils. Now we have the third medicinal component, flavonoids. They're the blue of blueberry, the red of raspberry. They're found in flowers, fruits, vegetables. They give the pigmentation of that fruit, but it has huge antioxidant properties to stop us from accelerating internally with our aging. And there's 20 different flavonoids that have been identified from this plant. So we call them cannaflavins. And they're really good for neurodegenerative issues like Alzheimer's, like Lou Gehrig's, like Huntington's chorea. They're really good to help prevent some of the diseases that want to maybe flourish and come online. We can go to the next slide. So there's a dance that goes on, and the dance is the cannabinoids, the dance is the terpenes, and the dance is the flavonoids. And it creates this synergy, this entourage effect, where they're all playing. And this is why Big Pharma doesn't really like cannabis, because they can't tease out what the entourage effect looks like in Kelly versus KJ versus Nancy. They want to standardize, and they can't. So when we talk whole plant medicine, this is what we're talking. We can take out the CBG, we could take out the CBC, but the way this plant is designed, our bodies go, oh, I want you, come in. It's like, oh, more, I'll take more. So listen to your body and respond to it. And I'm here if anybody wants help. We can go to the next slide. So we're blessed in Arizona. We have both medical and rec. And why are we having this webinar? Because we got medical first, and now we have rec, but we have lost the medical dialogue. We've gone far rec, like, let's party. And it's like, there's a place for that. But let's go back to our roots. The medical reason, a plant given to us for physical issues that can help us. And these are the qualifying issues, because people with serious diseases need to get a medical card because they're going to need more. Okay. So HIV is a qualifying factor, severe nausea, agitation with Alzheimer's. It's really good with CBD. Seizures for epilepsy. Lou Gehrig's, which is amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. Post-traumatic stress disorder, which I have. Cancer, which I work with cancer patients. Severe muscle spasms. Crohn's disease. Glaucoma. Hepatitis C. Cachexia, or muscle wasting, where you don't want to eat and you're just like, you're dying. Severe and chronic pain. So those are the components that will qualify you. The doctors that are sanctioned to do this qualification are medical doctors, DOs, and naturopaths. But they're not allowing physician assistants or nurse practitioners. And if you want, in the state of Arizona, to get a medical card, you will save yourself money in tax, because recreation pays 24.3% tax. The medical patients pay 8.3% tax. So you will save yourself a headache. And, you know, cannabis never stopped being medicine just because the United States government created laws prohibiting it. The use of cannabis is now becoming mainstream and research is catching up. And I couldn't be more over the moon excited. Okay, we'll go to the next slide. So why do we care about receptors in the brain, receptors in the body? And why do we care about classification of strains? Because when you go into a dispensary, the bud tender is going to say, what do you want? Sativa, indica, hybrid. So let's talk, what is that? Like woofda. Sativa are stimulating the CB1 receptors in your brain. Okay, they give you energy, focus, but they can give you panic and anxiety. So I tend to do a THC with the CBG that can kind of give me the energy, but not the panic. And you're going to feel it more in your brain. Now, if you do indica in the couch, it goes from the CB2 receptors, neck down. Far more sedating, helps with the body to recover. And it's felt in the body, the tissues, the organs, the immune cells. But you don't want to take an indica in the middle of the day and then you want to go to bed? No. So what we do is we marry a sativa with an indica and you get a hybrid. It's the best of both. So it's hitting receptors here and hitting receptors all there. So you're a walking receptor that's online. Can you handle it? We'll go to the next one. So now we're just going to walk through all the different forms because there's a cadre of ways you can bring this into your body. And, you know, flower is going to be from bud. You know, it's called bud. It's called bang. It's called ganja. It's called all kinds of weird things. We're going to talk about edibles. It goes into food. We're going to talk about Capsules, which is a company I work for part-time. We're going to talk about oil, wax, concentrates, something called Rick Simpson oil, which is from a Canadian who healed himself of cancer using that. Tinctures are liquid under the tongue, or they're in an eyedropper. Suppositories, which go up the bum or the rectum or like the vaginal area, and then topical. So let's go to the next one. So you're going to go into a dispensary to get a very high-end product that you do not have to worry about. And I'm busy training the bud tenders all over the state. Why? Because they tend to be disrespectful. This is what they do. Hey, man, what do you want? Yeah, hybrid, indica, sativa. How can I get you high? I'm like, don't you dare talk to an elder like that. That's disrespectful. They're like, what? I'm like, first off, they don't really want to be here. They don't feel welcome. There's a lot of energy and color in here. Why do you think I'm bringing them in busloads? Okay. I need you to talk slow. I need you to enunciate. No mumbling, please. I need you to step back and listen. They really want to find someone who's committed to them, that they can continue that relationship and build further with this progress of their journey of health and wellness. And so the shopping experience is very unique. And if you want, I create that shopping experience. So it's very positive. And if someone's had a bad experience, I want to go and make a positive experience and delete that bad experience. Okay, we can go to the next level. Methods of consumption, and now we're going to rock and roll. Let's go to the next one. Smoking is the number one way that the vast majority of the United States citizens, and you go to the next slide, are consuming cannabis. It's quick. It's easy. You feel it in 10 minutes. You can microdose, okay? It's available in so many places, but guess what it does? It can cause irritation to your lungs and your throat. And these, I'll call them kids, they're smoking in big bongs, which are glass, and you can see this black tar and residual, and you're like, ooh, is that going in their lungs, my lungs? So that's kind of why I talked to that woman, like, can you get a volcano that will take all those impurities out so that your lungs get the best? Okay, that's smoking. Next one. You will be in your car and you're like at a stop sign. You're like, oh my gosh, there's so much smoke in that car. Are there any human beings? And then they roll the window down and all the smoke goes out. You're like, oh, there's humans in there. That's a ton of smoke. That's vaporizing. They're medicating on the go. And it's like putting weed on steroids, okay? It's super potent. And it has the potential to have some possibly harmful byproducts. Although they're being tested, we don't know everything. And so do I vape? Yeah, but it's not a regular thing. But that's another way people can dose on the go. And remember, it takes heat to decarboxylate or activate the flower. So then it vaporizes and it can get into your lungs. Okay, next one, my favorite, edibles, but you got to be careful. If you don't have a gallbladder, you have to take edibles with a fat. Cannabis loves fat. Fat it is, okay? Here's the scoop. When you eat an edible, it could take 60 to 90 minutes to kick in. And guess what it does? It gets converted into another chemical in your liver, and it's even stronger. So please, low and slow. Why? Because it could last 6 to 8 hours. I don't know about you, but I don't want that kind of a ride. I don't want to feel like ick for 6 to 8 hours unless I have undo in the house, which I do. But the scoop is I love them because if you got bad pain, you can get pain relief for 6 to 8 hours. And I have liquids you could put it in, drinks, mints, gum, cookies, brownies, gummies. I mean, we got a lot, but you got to be careful. All right, next one. We're going to tinctures or oils. These can go in your purse, but they are in glass. So you have to be careful. You can't be a wild, crazy woman with your purse batting people and breaking stuff, okay? It's controlled mania. So this bypasses your tummy. Put it underneath the tongue. It'll go through the cheek in 50 seconds. People who are texturally challenged will not like this. And if they're texturally challenged, go to Sprouts and buy gel capsules and fill them. And if you do that, you're losing 20% in those gel capsules because it's got to do the first pass through your liver. But this is a good way to put it into your bloodstream. 50 seconds through into the bloodstream, pumping in 12 minutes. You got it. Okay. So I start my day with oil, CBD under the tongue. Just because I'm aging, I'm 68 now, and you can microdose it through the day. Like if I'm having a hard day with anxiety, I can dose it. Okay, we'll keep going. Some of us are in a lot of pain, and the pain needs relief. We have patches and gels that have a transdermal delivery system where it doses it over time in steady increments so that the body can get it. And my mother, after I take care of a 93-year-old mother, when she fell and fractured her hip, she would always have a patch, $15, in her walker. Equal parts THC, equal parts CBD. Doesn't matter where you put it on. You can bathe with it, swim with it. You can't go in a hot tub. But when the weather would get bad, her back pain would go bad. So she's like, I got it on and it's working. So I'm like, perfect. But you can order Mary's Medicinal. It's an excellent patch for pain, or Charlotte's Web, which is super well known and high quality. So this will register in your bloodstream. So be careful with transdermals. Next one, if you don't want it registering and you got like a bad wrist or a bad knee and you're really into pickleball, go get a salve, a balm, a lotion, a liniment, put it on. And then people are going to say, Christine, you can't put that on anymore because you're lethal on the course. You're cut off. You can't have it. It's working too good. So it's going to reduce the inflammation at the site. It will not go into the bloodstream. It will never make you high. It will last 30 to 40 minutes. So when my mom fell, she not only fractured her hip, but she tore her right rotator cuff. She goes, I can't sleep. My shoulder's killing. So I would rub a 1-to-1 cream on, and then she could just relax and then fall asleep. Okay, we can go to the next one. Steer clear of these. Unless you're a hippie and you've smoked since you were 13 and nothing's working, then you go here, okay? Because like, if you say I could smoke a whole ounce of flower and nothing hits me, you need to go here. But here's my problem. These are extracted from the cannabis plant using very, very potent solvents, butane, propane, CO2, which is carbon dioxide or ethanol. And that's why we have third-party labs. You need to make sure there's no solvent residue, you know? And we make hash, butane hash oil, CO2 oil, rosins, tinctures. We make shatter, butter, rosin. I mean, I could just go on and on. I'm going to tell you, the kids, I'm calling them kids, that use this a lot are finding that they're getting a condition called cannabis hyperemesis syndrome, and they're giving our industry a bad name. What's happening is they're using too much, and then they can't clear off all the gum on their receptors, and they will sit in a shower profusely vomiting and sweating in wet, cold water until they go to the ER. When they go to the ER, the doctors and the nurses treat them terribly, my experience, and it gives them a reason to hate our industry. So be careful. We can go to the next slide. Now, I'm not normal. I have a PhD in gut immunology, and I came home after missionary work filled with parasites. It was a long journey. I had to figure out what was wrong. So I love the butthole, and I love it so much. I wrote an article and published it called The Beauty of Backdoor Medicine, teaching the lay public how to get cancer out of their body or their hemorrhoids or shrink that prostate, and showing them with the finger, if you put the suppository into the first knuckle, you will bypass the liver. If you go to this big knuckle here, you're going to be higher than a kite. So I wrote the article, and then I ended it by saying, to your health, up yours, Dr. Dana, because it's not a fun topic, but I love the rectum. It's amazing. And I've had 2 4-stage brain cancers go into remission. I had the privilege of working with them, and they're oncologists. So, I mean, this is anti-cancer. I mean, game on. Okay, we go to the next one. All right, so yes, you can take too much in, okay? We're all different. All of us here are considered high risk. Why? Because we drink alcohol, and sometimes we put weed with it. So the industry, the people that don't like it go, oh, you're high risk. Well, not everybody does that. But if you take alcohol with weed, it's going to make it go higher through the roof. So you got to be careful. But there are side effects. Dry mouth, like I'm like the Sahara Desert. Like, well, who cares? You're in a desert. Drink. It's all good. Red eyes. The young kids get red eyes. They'll always have eye drops in their pocket. You'll see them in the dispensary putting them in. It could cause a rapid heart rate if you're doing too much. If you do indica's couch lock, it's like, I can't move. The couch and I are one. You know, that's not a good thing. If you have moderate to severe symptoms, you're bad. Okay. You can be hallucinating. You can be vomiting. You can have acute anxiety, paranoia, difficult walking, breathing difficulties. Why am I telling you never to go to a smoke shop? I'm going to give you a terrible story. I got a call from a pharmacist in the Midwest who said, she's Slavic. Oh, you have no idea what happened. I go, what happened? She goes, I have patient 78. Go to smoke shop. Buy edible for sleep. I go, what happened? She was sold a $450 gummy. It was THCP, which is synthetic THC, which is far potent, and THC. She was told to eat the whole thing. Don't ever go any higher than 5 milligrams. She thought she was dying. She could barely open the door, unlock it, and call 911. She ended up in the hospital. Don't go to a smoke shop. There's no guarantee. They don't know what they're talking about, and they don't care about us. Okay, next one. Interactions and caution. If you have high blood pressure, you must tell your doctor. It's going to lower your blood pressure, okay? So that's CBD, and it could raise your heart rate, so just be aware. I want you to start monitoring your own health. Diabetics, CBD will lower your blood sugar, and it will have positive effects to your metabolic burning capacity. Please tell your doctor. You might need to slowly decrease your diabetic meds. Narcotic meds. Cannabis is an answer for opioid addiction. Yes, 9% of all the US populace has an addictive disorder. It's rare that any one of us here do. They give this a bad name, and anything a good thing a bad name, whether it's shopping, food, or whatever. Seizure patients, it's a godsend with CBD. It's just amazing. And tourists, We need to be aware. If we take any kind of weed on a trip and we're at high altitudes, we're mixing alcohol, you got to be careful. So these are the caveats that we need. And I want total transparency with your doctor. They can't talk about it. You and I have got to bring it up. Once we do, they can talk about it. We can go to the next one. Cannabis and death. There's been no attributed deaths to cannabis, but multiple times of alcohol and shootings and killings. On occasion, the government has said cannabis is not dangerous. Oh, well, thank you for that vote of confidence. And in 1988, the DEA Chief Administrative Law Judge Francis Young stated, marijuana in its natural form is one of the safest therapeutically active substances known to man. And so there's two people that took this plant away from us. William Randolph Hearst on the West Coast and DuPont on the East Coast. They had financial ties and they made sure to take it away from us, and it worked. So with that, we can go to the last slide, which is my references, which I need to update. But I really thank you for being here. It was a pleasure. And any questions on any of your parts?
You can just unmute yourself and ask away.
And you might not have any, and that's fine too.
Dr. Dana, I'll break the ice here and everything else. So do you have some recommendations of where, if you're not going to a smoke shop,
Yes.
where you might find whatever you're looking for in the, under the right circumstances and quality? I'm sorry I didn't get the question out, but I'll break the ice here.
Yeah. So dispensaries are the best place to go to buy a legitimate product that has had the scrutiny so that you have peace of mind. And that's critical.
Anybody else have any questions?
Dr. Dana, you said you had some capsules. So do you have a line or somewhere to buy what you recommend?
I work part-time for a company called Life is Chill. They're whole spectrum oil in capsules that look like vitamin E. They're 5 milligrams, 10, 25, and 100. They travel well. I went into a healer's intensive in July in Bali, Indonesia. It's death there if you go in with cannabis. I'm an insomniac, so of course I went in with cannabis. I poured it all into a vitamin E jar. I went by dogs, customs, and immigration. Just don't go to Russia, because they'd probably open it up and I'd be in prison for the rest of my life. But they travel well.
And do you see patients anymore?
Yeah, I work online or in person. I also do tours. Yeah, I talk all over. I'm going to start doing videos on YouTube because there's only so much of me.
Yeah, because I just moved back to the Phoenix area, and I'm looking for a doctor that, I'm trying to find someone that gets me, and you're awesome. So I appreciate this.
Yeah, I'm not in a clinic anymore. I'm kind of doing one-on-one, and I'm not doing normal medicine because for me to stand in this space, I walked away from my RN and my family nurse practitioner. I don't want a witch hunt around me. I'm here to empower you, to be available, and to help you get your life where you want it using a natural product if you're interested.
Yeah, because I have lupus, and in the early 2000s, my doctor, because with lupus you can't take Tylenol, and I was a legal heroin addict. It was horrible, and cannabis saved me. So yeah, I really appreciate this. This was awesome. Thank you.
Oh yeah, you bet.
Yeah, incredible information, Dr. Dana. I mean, I knew a bunch of it, and I learned so much more today. I did know about the peppercorns, though. I've used that myself when I've thought I took 10 milligrams and it was actually more, and then I was like, uh-oh, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, fantastic. Really, really amazing information. The more education I think we get out there on this, right, is is better. I think that's the key that's missing, especially as we've chatted about. The bud tenders really are not educated in what they're offering people, and so we really need to elevate what we're telling people and giving them real information that supports their health journey.
That's correct. Yes. So I recommend if you go to a dispensary, find 2 bud tenders you really like and call, and don't go unless you know they're there, because they're in your process. They know what you've tried. They know your struggle, and you need to have someone that's committed to you. So that's how I tell you to maneuver.
Excellent. Thank you. Incredible information. Well, thank you all for joining us. And just so you know, we have additional educational sessions, free community events every week on sangahealing.com/calendar. And we will follow up with a summary of this session, also a link to the recording with closed captions so that you can send it to individuals who may need that. And then we'll have Dr. Dana's and my contact information in there as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you.
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah.
Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.